Hi, welcome to another video on targeted individuals. And in my videos, I like to explain, what it is, the kind of tactics that these people use in order to intimidate or in order to trick you into doing something or saying something that they can try to use against you. All right, so I haven't, for my previous videos that I did, I've, give examples of certain things that they do to me and how, in terms of my targeting. And so after I did these videos, the use of the noise campaign kind of subside, but I know that's just a temporary thing because sooner or later they will start again with the heavy noise campaign that they do against me. So whenever they you know they get caught, or I think they get caught in terms of people becoming aware of what it is that's being done, they tend to take a step back, right? And so here is another tactics that they use. So uh, I just want to get into my phone here. So as you can see in the background here, this is my Facebook page, right? So this is my Facebook page, and if you look up here, right? Let me. Well, I'm not going to click on it, but I basically have no messages, right? But yet on my phone, okay, it says that I have 8 messages. Now let me see if I can, if the webcam will pick it up. All right, so let's get a little closer. Let's see what I have. Okay, it's not right, but anyway, it says 8 messages. Now, again, here I'm logged into my Facebook page on the computer. And here again, I have no messages because there is no message indicator, right? To let me know any type of, if I have any messages. So this is again, this is a tactic that they use. And what it is, they send me subliminal message, and it has to do, I guess, with the number 8. So the number 8 is supposed to represent something. That I don't know. But I just wanted to put it out there just to let people know and see what is going on. It could be because we all know that these people, they work within Facebook, okay, and because they'll basically target you through social media like Facebook and other or dating sites that you may belong to, that you and I may belong to, and so they'll target us through social media. And there are people who have these people have infiltrated Facebook or even Facebook itself, from the admins to to those who, I guess, review sites. Because sometimes people get banned from Facebook for whatever reason. Okay, and so again, they use those social media as also a tool to target TI. So if you're a TI, you have to be extremely careful in terms of who you accept friend requests from, because people will send requests, or even if you didn't send somebody a friend request or somebody send you a friend request, you have to be very, very careful. What I do is that if somebody send me a friend request, I try to click on their page and to see what I look at their pictures. Sometimes they'll just have one picture on there and then there'll be nothing else, and so you know most likely I would not accept that person friend request, because I want to see that multiple pictures, because any perp can take one picture of a person, create a fake Facebook page, and they're all in your business on your Facebook page, right? So you got to be very, very careful. Also, what they'll do on Facebook is that they will hack into my Facebook account and they will send friend requests to themselves, right? And they will accept using my account. So when I go onto Facebook and I see such and such person has accepted my friend request, I go onto that page And if I don't remember ever sending that person a friend request, then I basically unfriend them. So you have to be aware of that. So you have to constantly be aware, did you send this individual a friend request? And if you don't think that you have, then you need to unfriend that person, because it could be a fake uh, profile that they set up to just to get access to your page. Okay, so that's one thing. So again, I'm gonna keep this video short because I just want to explain certain things, because they will always find a way to try to target you. Okay, so they will always do that, and it's something that they are, something that they've always done, and they continue to do. So it's not a surprise to me that, like I said, that on my phone, they love to use numbers in our targeting, right? Numbers supposed to represent something. Sometimes as a target, it's whatever you think those numbers mean is because it's been implanted into your subconscious, um, and then sometimes you don't. You know, so for me, them using the number eight, as I showed you, is a way of them trying to send me a subliminal message with using the number eight. So they'll use various numbers, like number 32. Like, for example, after I pick up my son from school today, we went to McDonald's to get some caramel frappuccino. And when I got into the McDonald's and I stand in line, ordered my food, I think my number was number 334, right? So it's very ironic, right? Not really ironic, but it's very interesting. It's not coincidental either, okay? Because what they do is that, remember, they manipulate things, right? So remember I said on my show, and even on Facebook, I have videos that show how to use the number 32 in the license plate. So anyway, so it just so happens that as soon as I got to McDonald's, I'm number 334, right? So they're calling the numbers out, and as soon as she said order number 333, the people in McDonald's, a lot of the high school students, because there's a high school right there, Erasmus High School, they all started like sticking their fingers in their ears and all sorts of giving me all these kind of hand signals and stuff like that. So again, it's not a coincidence that they manipulated the numbering in terms of the order number, so that when I did get there to order, and they knew I was going there because with remote neural monitoring, they're able to read my thoughts. And I was talking to my son, my son Ethan, who was 6 years old, yesterday, which was Sunday. I said to him, I said, after school Monday, we're gonna go to McDonald's, and I'll get you a frappuccino because he wanted one, right? Now I wasn't on the phone to say to anyone that, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to McDonald's tomorrow and take Ethan to McDonald's to get a frappuccino. I did not say that, but yet they knew, and it's because of the remote neural monitoring. They're able to basically uh, read my thoughts and anything that I'm thinking. Okay, and for those of you who don't understand what remote neural monitor is, you have to research to go online. And basically, what it is, I have a microchip implant, right? And how they, and you may say, well, they don't have. Do you remember being operated on? And the truth is, to get access to a person's brain, you don't need to be operated on. Okay, your nasal passageway is a direct passageway into the brain. Okay, so with a long needle, they can implant a microchip in your brain. Okay, and that's what remote neural monitor is: the implantation of electronic device, in this case a chip, into a person's brain, in which they can identify and read that individual mind. The technology has been developed for decades, not a decade, but decades. They have been able to do this. All right. So now, because it's coming out into the mainstream, you hear the mainstream media and mainstream tech companies talking about that. You hear about the Brain Initiative by the Obama administration. This stuff has been going on for decades. Okay, I can remember during the 90s, right, that CNN did a interview with a scientist who they were basically working on uh, a computer to brain interface. And what they did at that point, again, it's the private sector. We all know that the military is at least, you know, 10 to 15 years ahead in terms of technology than the private sector. So, what the military does is that after a certain amount of years have passed, they will give the earlier version of the technology that they've created to certain tech American tech companies, and that's how American tech companies stay ahead of other countries' tech companies. So anyway, so when you hear the term remote neural monitoring, when they start talking about how you know used to fight crime and all this stuff, that's one part of it, but it's also used to steal information from corporations, from uh, military personnel who may be in another country that is an enemy to the United States. So they can basically implant a chip into an adversary's mind, and they're able to extract information from that adversary. Okay, so again, like I said, in the 90s, CNN did an interview in where they had this man. He was a quadriplegic, and he was basically communicating via computer interface, right? So they had this device hooked up to his brain, okay, and in that case, they literally had to drill through his skull, okay, to put the electrodes in, and they were able to insert a chip into his brain, and he was able to communicate just by thought alone, okay, and this was in the 90s. Again, and we're in 2016, okay. So the technology have gotten much more advanced, particularly like I said within the military. There's so much technology that they're working on that you would not believe, from directed energy to mind control via implantation and via microwave signal, okay, to control the human mind. All right. So again, as I was saying with going to the McDonald's and stuff like that, so they basically knew that I was going to go to the McDonald's. So when I got to the McDonald's today, they had already had everything set up. And like I said, if you're a TI, you have to understand that none of this is spiritual, none of this is coincidental. It is all pre-planned. And how it's pre-planned is because if you're a TI and you're experiencing what I'm experiencing, then yes, you have a microchip implanted in your mind. Okay. And so don't let anybody tell you about spiritual warfare and tell you, because they're like, the thing that kills me with religious TIs is they really believe that BS, right? So if you really believe, well, I'm not gonna get into it 'cause I don't want to bash anybody's belief system, even though I think it's all BS. But anyway, you have to understand that it is government agencies, okay, and the churches who the government use as a cult, okay, to get their congregation or their members to participate in doing this to you. And not the church is one part of it, but also you have people who within your community who may not even go to church, but again, they are being manipulated, okay, by the villainization of the targeted individual, because they have to villainize you. They have to make you an enemy. They have to make you a crazy person. They have to make you. They may try to say, give you some of the worst labeling. You're a pedophile, or you're some type of sexual deviant, or something to get people to give up their ability to make a decision in terms of understanding that what you are doing is actually damaging someone and may in fact kill someone, because there are some TIs who've been gang stalked to the point where they committed suicide. Okay, and there are some TIs who've been gang stalked and who have retaliated, causing harm to other people, right, as well as themselves, or they themselves getting killed in the process. And so people have to understand that. But again, the United States government spend billions and billions of dollars on research into mind control. So people have to understand that. Okay. So yeah, that, like I said, they will always find something or some way to target you after you've exposed one thing, a few things that they've done. Okay. So when you start to expose certain things and people catch on to it, they will do something else. They will alter their targeting. They will alter their method. And that's why I have to expose every single thing that they do. Now, some people may say, well, you shouldn't be making these videos and blah, 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 and such. But when people tell you that, they're trying to silence you. Okay. And you have to really look at those individuals as, are they trying to help you, or are they trying to keep you quiet? And like I said, in a coercive persuasion program, they always try to silence the victims of these crimes. Okay, so you have to understand that. So don't let anybody tell you not to make videos about your targeting, because what you are doing is helpful to other people who may not realize that they are TI until they see your video or my video. And then they realize that, hey, these people are talking about the same thing. They have the same symptomatic experience that I have, and I could be a TI, and they may research it even more and understand what's really happening to them, and they in turn will start to understand, what's really taking place around them and in their lives. Okay, so don't let anyone tell you that you should not be making these videos. Now I will agree in some cases where you have to be very careful in terms of how you make these videos, because you don't want it to seem like you're rambling, or you're going off topic and going into all these other areas and stuff like that. What you need to do, you need to have a focused mentality and a focused effort and research. Okay, knowledge is key, and knowledge is power. When you gain the knowledge and understanding of what's happening to you, okay, don't go off into the spiritual thing, don't go off into the alien abduction thing, because all of that is a means to make you look crazy. Okay, go do research, you know government mind control programs, research MK Ultra, research COINTELPRO, research uh, what is it? Project Naomi. There's many different uh, sub project under MK Ultra that the U.S. government were involved in. Okay, and so again, you don't want to come off as being this delusional person. Okay, you want to have a concentrated, concise, and informed method of explaining what's happening to you and what's being done to you. Now, I when I say I have a brain implant, people say, "Oh, yeah, you're crazy. Yeah, you're crazy. You think you have a brain implant, you're crazy." But what people don't understand is that you know that's nothing new. And the reason why they call you crazy if you say you have a brain implant is because they're ignorant. They don't have the knowledge, okay, to understand what it is that you're going through. They don't think they like there's some people who think that the government don't do human experimentations, and the history of, especially particularly the United States government, okay, the history, there's evidence that says otherwise, and people tend to still not believe it, and that's because they suffer from what is called cognitive dissonance. Okay, and ignorance, really, the lack of education in terms of what this government, U.S. government, has done in the past and continue to do, is blinding to them, and they want to feel that they live in a utopia. Okay, even though we don't, but the truth is too much for them, so they want to believe in the illusion of uh, you know utopia, you know and so for those people, I just leave them alone. Okay, so anyway, moving on. So again, the remote neural monitoring, is something that I experience on a daily basis. It doesn't stop, okay, and I do get the headaches from being on the remote door monitoring. That's the one thing that is very painful in terms of experiencing this. I mean, not just that, but the idea and the thought of your mind uh, being read, or you're basically being mind raped. It's basically raped. It's not sexual rape, but it's mind rape. Because you're not giving these people permission to read your thoughts and to access your mind, and they do it regardless. Okay, so again, and that's how I knew. That's how I knew. Like I said, when I went into the McDonald's, um, and I ordered my meal, I was surprised that I didn't get the number 332, because usually I probably would have gotten that number. But I guess it had to be. They tried to make it seem like if I had gotten that number, I was going to basically take the receipt and prove it, right? But they try to do things to where you can't prove it. And so in this case, I was number 334. And like I said, as soon as they call out the order number 332, which 32 is a number that they use in my targeting all the time, from the license plates to, when I used to wake up early in the morning, I would always wake up at like 5:32 or 6:32 or 7:32. It didn't matter what time I wake up. I would always wake up at the 32-minute mark. So, again, it is something that they're doing. It is something that it's not coincidental. Okay, it is not coincidental. And so today I knew that they were up to something. After that, and again, because they try to have it affect me in such a way, and I didn't react it. I did not react it, and when they started sticking their finger in their ears, as I went outside of McDonald's, I had my middle finger poking out so that they can see, because every time they do stuff like that, I'm like, F you, and so you're going to get these perps are going to get the middle finger, because I don't care. I don't care. They can do whatever they want to do, and I'm wise. I've been in this program for uh, going well over a decade, okay? And so, they haven't done anything that I haven't seen already, you know? And so, I guess when they come up with something new, then I guess I'll put it on video, okay? Whether I have it on videotape or whether I talk about my experience, in terms of what's being done, that's what I'll do. So anyway, again, just wanted to give a point to show how they use social media in terms of, again, my Facebook page. I have no message on there, and on my phone it says I have 8 messages. And it could be also because they want me to install Messenger, so which I will not do. If you're a TI and you have Facebook and you have Facebook on your phone, do not install Messenger. Okay, Messenger is something that they can use to access, your phone, your pictures, your contact numbers, all these things that they can do. So if they can't access your phone, like let's say if you have a virus protection software or a malware protection software or a firewall on your mobile device, and they can't get into it, or it takes them some time to get into it, Messenger is an easy way for them to just access every single thing in your phone. Okay, and that's why I got rid of Messenger, because when I had Messenger, they used to access my phone, change my music, uh, you know um, call people's number when I didn't call them. They used to do all kind of stuff. They will turn on the hands-free mode or the airplane mode and stuff like that. Whenever they tried to send me subliminal message about being deported and stuff like that, they will always turn on the airplane mode on my phone and stuff like that. So, you know, that's why once I got rid of Messenger, okay, most of that stuff stopped. So I knew Messenger was a program that they can use easily to access and change the settings on your phone. So I will not be installing Messenger, not on my phone, no way. Okay, just be aware of that. If you're a TI, get rid of Messenger for Facebook on your phone. Whether you have an iPhone or Android phone, get rid of it. Okay, so that's it. I just wanted to explain, a couple of things, and you know, that's it. So to all the TIs out there, keep your head up, keep researching, understand what's happening to you. That is government agencies that is doing this. Okay, and they're using the churches, they're using your neighbors, they're villainizing you, they're manipulating you in order to villainize you. Okay, just understand and know this. Okay, so just gonna say I will do another video when they attempt to target me in other ways. And just this is to let my perps know that every time you use whatever tactics you're using to target me, I will expose it and I will do a video on what you are doing. Okay, so um, when it gets to a point when you have no more tactics, then I guess that's when I'll stop exposing, because you're not doing this to me and other people like myself. All right.